Hello, I'm Sarah Tate from motherhoodtrade.com. Dealing with our emotions in a healthy way is really a key, huge part of living a healthy and happy life. And it's a skill that we learn. It's one of the greatest skills that we can learn as parents, as mothers, as friends, as spouses, and a big skill that our kids need to learn in order to, have a happy and fulfilling life. Let me illustrate something for you. So I'm going to draw the sun. The sun represents all our happy and good feelings. We feel warm and bubbly and happy. We feel like we're someone important. We feel like we're competent and that we're loved and that we're lovable and all those good and yummy feelings. And basically our happiness and our well-being is right here. So this is the sun. It's always there and it's always shining, but what happens is that sometimes the sun is blocked by cloud. And so this cloud in this discussion represents a buildup of negative feelings. And so what that has done is essentially blocked out those good feelings to the point that sometimes we feel like it doesn't exist. Sometimes we feel like we aren't loved, that we aren't capable, that we can't do things, that nobody loves us, because we don't feel that, because we don't see that. There's something that's actually blocking that and making us believe that the sun that's always there and smiling and shining is gone. But it isn't. It's just an emotion and a feeling that's blocking that warmth that we can feel and that is always there and always available to us. So what I want to talk to you about is how we can deal with this cloud, this dark cloud that's blocking good feelings in a healthy way that can actually help us grow. So negative feelings, we are human, so we experience them all the time, and anything can cause those feelings. And what we're going to talk about is how to deal with them, and it doesn't really matter what is causing them. What matters is how we deal with that feeling, right? What I want you to grasp is that it doesn't really matter what's going on around you or outside you, what people say, what situation happened. The real battle is always what's going on inside of you. And when you are aware of that battle and you encounter the battles that are inside first, then you will have the calm and the reassurance to encounter all the outside battles that are around you, because it all counts on what's going on inside you, right? Whatever you feel, whatever you're thinking is your reality. That's how you experience it. That's what your world is. So if you take care of what's inside first, you'll more wisely deal with what's around you. So negative feelings, okay? So we have this storm inside of us. It's dark and we feel bad. We hate life. We hate our children. We hate our husband. We don't like what we're doing. We're not performing well. Everything is falling apart. Our house looks a mess, and it's building up this really dark and horrible cloud in us that makes us feel like we can't be happy and we aren't happy and nothing is good because it's blocking that happy, right? That sun.
But it starts with one negative thought. And it doesn't
Right.
have to be a huge negative thought. It's just like one little one,
Yep.
This kid's driving me crazy.
Exactly.
And then it's like, goes all the time.
Yes. So I have my awesome friend here, Erin. Come in.
Hi!
And she's here to help.
So, you're doing
yes,
great,
no,
Soraya.
that's exactly what it is. It usually is not.
I hate my kids. It usually doesn't
Right.
start there.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
starts somewhere a little small.
Exactly. So there's one little thought that just keeps building and building and building.
Mm-hmm.
And so it builds this cloud of negativity, right? That's blocking the sun. So here's the thing, is that if we don't deal with this cloud, it will explode at times that sometimes we don't want them to, and if we don't deal with it, it will do something at one point or another. So it's important that we're aware of it, first of all, and that we learn how to deal with it. So we want it to rain and thunder and storm in a constructive way for us. So if you think of yourself as a flower, so this is you beautiful flower you. this cloud can actually be beneficial to you, right? Because when it rains, it can be nourishing and it can help you grow. And the bad times are just as important to you. You know, we need the rain as much as we need the sun, right, to grow and thrive. So having, you know, not so pleasant experiences can actually help us grow, you know, if we make them a constructive and a good thing for us. So, and that's what I hope to teach you. So we have all these negative feelings and we want it to just rain peacefully and happily on this flower so it can grow. And so that cloud can, you know, make its way, part its way, and then we can feel that sun again. And that's what we want to learn. So how do we do that? That is the question. How do we release that emotion in a good way so it's good for us and not just a negative way so it hurts us and those around us? So this is all just kind of my theory, but my tip is to release. You gotta release that tension somehow. You gotta release that rain. Bring down the rain. And personally, if I'm feeling a lot of buildup, the first step, like I keep mentioning, is being aware of it, right? Because most of the time we aren't aware of it and we just let it explode on somebody, on something, you know, like we snap at our kids. We don't even know why.
Or the dog.
We kick our dog. We don't know why, you know, but it's because there's this negativity that we're holding on to and that we haven't dealt with. And until that's dealt with, it's going to seep out of you in one form or another. And it usually is not positive because we're not dealing with it. We're just we're displacing it somehow. We're projecting it somehow. And it's seeping into our lives. You know, this acid. I like to think of this acid rain that's not helping us. It's just leaking, but it's not helping us grow. It's just destroying us and the relationships around us. And so, so we want to release that cloud. And one way is, one thing that really helps me release that tension is really to just simply cry, you know, just let the rain come down. And one thing I've learned is to remove myself from whatever situation I feel like is upsetting me. So say I'm having a conversation with my spouse or with somebody, instead of letting that emotion build up so much that I start yelling at him and start blaming him and start getting that yuck and hope he feels just as yucky as I do, I'm learning to remove myself from that situation and letting myself just rain or just release that emotion. So I'm not so emotionally charged, so I can actually think, you know. And so one thing I've done is I leave, I go to another room, and I just start crying. I cry and cry and cry. But you have to cry in a healthy way. So crying in a healthy way to me means just letting it all out, letting the emotion release itself, but not placing blame on yourself or on other people. So it becomes a healthy thing. It's just a release. You're just trying to get the yuck out. But if you're upset at somebody, to not place blame on them and forgive them. So if you're upset about something and you really feel like you were wronged some way, then you have to let go of it. Because if you don't, even if you lie to yourself, I'm fine and I'm good and I released it and I'm good to go, if you have not properly forgive them or decided that to let go of it, then you will essentially still hold on to it and it will build up again, and then the cycle will continue, and usually it spirals down. So it's important to let go, and sometimes it's a process.
Yeah, like it's sometimes you cycle over and over.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and you have good friends that explain it. It's like, oh, and help you release it.
So it's a process, and I think if you haven't, I know it's important to do all we can to let go of hurt feelings, but it is a process. We're all growing together. We're all learning. You know, I haven't learned how to deal with my emotions perfectly, and we're all striving to do that better and better. So it is a process, and just as long as you keep trying is what counts. So cry. Sometimes I'll journal. If there's something I need to sort out in my head, I'll journal it out, you know. Or sometimes exercise, movement helps just to get out of that funk that you got yourself in, you know. Music. Mm-hmm. Sometimes just thinking about something else, you know. But in all the while what you're trying to do is release and letting it go, you know. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself. It doesn't matter. You know, just try. If there's something that you're mad about that you did, that you're upset about yourself, which is really common, you know, forgiving yourself, because you are just as much of a person as the other person. You need forgiveness of yourself as much as you need to forgive other people. So just letting it go. And this is a huge thing for me, is what I try to do is I need to be in a position where I can let my higher power or my spirit, so I can feel the spirit again, you know, as I learn in my religion, you know, I want to be in a place where I can feel the spirit again. I need to get rid of this yuck so I can feel the good again. Mm-hmm. And that's, and so once you've done that, then you can, you know, go back into the battleground, into the battlefield, and deal with things in a logical way without your emotions just taking charge of you.
With culture and refinement.
Yeah, with culture and refinement. You can express your feelings instead of, you know, like, attacking someone with your emotions, right? So you're not as emotionally charged, and you can explain to someone, you know, if something is really bothering you, like, this is how I feel, you know, and really own your feelings. But one thing is to own your feelings, like, this is how I feel, and I'm responsible with how I feel. You can't make me feel anything, they're my feelings. But to not let your feelings own you, and, you know, and that's what we talked about here, you know, releasing those negative feelings so they aren't owning you. Because if you don't deal with those feelings, they will control your life. They will own you. You will be captive to feelings, to negative feelings that, you know, if you don't learn how to deal with them in a healthy way, they will own you. But you don't have to. You're in charge, and you can own your feelings, not let them own you, and live a happy and good life. And also teach your kids, you know, when you start doing this, your kids will start learning, and you can teach them either by example or, you know, verbally. And I hope you learn something and have fun. Be happy. It's there for you.